I had a 35-year career in corporate America. In the midst of that career, I got married to my middle school sweetheart, who happens to be a Stanford professor, and we have a beautiful daughter. I'm a descendant of veterans. My grandfather served in the Merchant Marines during World War II, and my father served in the Korean War and was stationed in Japan. Following on that, I decided to volunteer for veterans in honor of their memory. I coupled my interest in education, kind of married the two, educating youth on veterans and also veteran services.
Peggy Toye jokingly refers to herself as retired, but the reality is she really has just traded one full-time job for another. Peggy is deeply committed to the veterans of San Mateo County.
When my daughter was young, her Girl Scout troop started to create holiday cards for the veterans, and that's how I met my first contact at the American Legion Auxiliary. And we gave cards to the auxiliary and to the USO.
As part of her work with the Girl Scouts in 2020, Peggy worked with young women to create over 1,000 face masks for the local auxiliary.
My daughter and I joined the American Legion Auxiliary, and I found opportunities to fill needs, administrative needs, organizational needs, and that's where I thought that's my bailiwick. In 2020, we decided to start a new unit in Redwood City, and there I was the founding secretary there. At the same time, I also became president of the district, which is San Mateo County.
Peggy brings a synergy to everything that she does with each organization that she is a part of, and finds a way to bring all of the organization's attention to our veterans.
One of my favorite programs in the auxiliary is the Girls State program. It's a leadership program, but it's an opportunity to teach teenagers about veterans and our services, American traditions, and civic duty. We've taken girls into the VA to deliver holiday gifts and cards. And so this is very fulfilling for me to show girls leadership skills, but to have them exposed to older generations that they would not ordinarily meet. One of my proudest projects this year was leading the Girls State Service Project. We had 450 girls create appreciation cards for the passengers of the honor flights. And it was a way for me to explain to the girls this was their generation's social media.
Peggy has served as not only a mentor, but a role model to many young women through her work with the Girls State organization and through her work with the Girl Scouts.
My daughter's 23, she's a college graduate. One of the most important projects I think for her was starting a toiletry drive for veterans. And she collected so much toiletry. My living room smelled like a laundromat. And it perpetuated for 3 years until she went off to college. Then mom had to do it. The exposure for my daughter and other young women to people who serve their country, to others, is a wonderful education for them.
She has tirelessly worked to create and empower a sense of self, a sense of self-esteem, and the idea that we as women need to be lifelong learners.
Receiving the Patriot of the Year award is for me a way of honoring my father and grandfather again. That my efforts is really in tribute to them. This is how I can give back to my community.